Alrighty, hello everyone. So today we're going to be looking at the second character in my entry for the Webtoon Call to Action contest. This is Axel, and I've just got some footage playing through of his character design process, or the turnaround sheet. I did most of the design process on pencil and paper in my sketchbooks because I just find it easier and the ideas flow a bit better that way. Every time I try to sketch in digital formats, I find I'm not as loose, and I'm always trying to finish something. A sketchbook's a bit more throwaway, so I can put ideas down a bit quicker. Anyway, so I had his design pretty much laid down, but I tried a few more outfits just for funsies, so some looser ones and variations on the shorts and t-shirt combo. But what I was trying to do with his design was capitalize on the square motif I gave him. So I assigned his color as purple, and I wanted his shape design to be more square, whereas Dash had more of a sharp triangular design and his color was orange. So easiest places to start with shapes in the face. So I gave him quite a sharp jawline. And made sure all of his features sort of fit into a square shape in his face. And with his clothes, it's a bit easier to do a square shape on clothes, since a lot of men's clothes anyway are quite boxy. So because I didn't choose a boxy shirt, contrary to what I was just talking about, I've put the seam across his chest so it creates a sharp line, a nice square, and I made sure his shorts were square bottomed as well. And then he's got some leg, knee braces, which cut more lines into his design, and his shoes. You'll see them later in the video. They've got a lot of angular right angles. Angular right angles, that's really elaborate. You'll see his shoes later. They're squares. You get the point, and they're purple. More about the clothing choices with his design. So all of them I've said in the previous video. I want them to look athletic. Dash is very parkour looking. I was like, I don't want them all to look exactly the same. So Axel's a bit more of a gym bro. So I've got like the undersized hugging t-shirt and the shorts, and like a more gym outfit, not just like generic. Try that again. So he's got more of a gym bro outfit, like the tight hugging t-shirt. He's been working on his muscles. He wants to show them off. Shorts, the knee braces. I guess depends on what circles you're in. It's not like typically street style cool, but gym culture, very cool. The shoes don't really match, but I wanted to draw high tops, so that's why those are in there. Alright, so that's sort of it for the basics on his designs. What else have I got in my notes? Personality stuff. So I tried to put some of their personality in their design usually. So he's got a laid back, very simple outfit, but I thought it would be fun to, in future episodes, not that I can show it all in one, but I thought it'd be fun that if he would change his hairstyle a lot, he really cares about his appearance, like eat healthy, dress nice, change his hair a lot. I thought that would be fun. But for now, the easier hairstyle to draw is sort of shaved at the bottom and loose at the top. That way when they're doing action sequences, I can play with the curls and the motion lines. Like animation stuff where you got squash, stretch, bounce. As his head moves, his hair is going to trail behind, and most of the characters I draw have short hair, so I thought I would use the fact that he had medium length hair to my advantage when showing motion in my drawings. Because I've thought about the story beyond just the little contest entry. I was thinking about, I like to think about family relationships. My other comic, Astray, is really family orientated. Like I drew everyone's extended family, their parents, their siblings, their friends. I even thought about further back, grandparents. I didn't draw them all, but I have every character that's a main character in my comic Astray has a full extended family, and I kind of did the same here because that helps shape their personality. So I was like, Dash seems like an only kid. I thought Axel might be the older brother type, so by like a significant margin. So he's like 17, 18, and maybe he's got some siblings around the age of 10. So he's got to, get his act together and act like the role model and the big brother he is. So he's got more responsibilities within his family unit. Why am I so out of breath? Jesus. So outside of the big brother relationship with his siblings, I thought since he's on the older side, so 17, 18, he's going to have more responsibilities as far as like financially. So you can't be going and asking your mum for pocket money at 18. You're sort of at an age where you start putting back into the family. So I was thinking, he's probably still at school. He'd definitely have like a part-time job to help, for supporting his hobbies and like his living expenses, but also to help support his own family. Thought that would be fun. I was like, I always love it when you see like really well put together people who, I guess like Eshe culture, where they're like, I'm only wearing brand clothes, but I work like a shit job at like a fast food place like McDonald's or whatever. So I thought that'd be a little bit funny. He's got, like a well curated appearance, and then he's got to go work behind a greasy fry, because I've definitely done that sort of stuff. And it doesn't make you feel very pretty. Relationships, family roles, I've got notes again, and I'm not good at reading them while talking. So I'm going to take a few little breaks here. I wrote some notes in my script for this that are technically spoilers. So I've got role in the story. I'll skip to that. So I discussed in the previous one, Dash's like athletic specialty in like this parkour comic is like speed and fluidity. So I thought it'd be fun to play off Axel's physique, and he'd be better at things like taking high drops and doing not pull-ups, where you're lifting yourself up basically on your fingertips. I can't remember the correct word for it now. And he's a bit stronger, so he'd probably like jump a bit further as well. All that kind of like strength based movements, as opposed to Dash just being quick. It's sort of like when I was thinking about the kind of style Axel would have, I was watching a lot of Dom Tomato videos. He does some crazy stuff that you really should be using a crash mat for, but he somehow does it with just his body. It's crazy. It just jumps off things and lands okay somehow. So I'm running out of things to say. I've put a little note down here about stylization. So with Dash, I stylized his face to be really simple, like his nose and mouth is basically just 2 lines. And I stylized a few other things in the comic for the sake of efficiency and speed. So if I do illustrations of characters with dark skin that are like one-off, I will do like the lighter color on the palms and like the double tones on the lips and stuff. But when I'm doing comic stuff and I've got to do like panel after panel after panel, and I don't want to like aggravate my carpal tunnel more than it is, I usually don't do that second color on the hands, and I usually just keep the lips all the same color. Or maybe I'll put a bit of blush on. I usually just shade it. Saves me a bit of time, and I don't think it's the most essential thing in the world, but I just made a little note on that because that's something I do. I did that in my other comic Astray as well. I've got quite a few characters with darker skin, and on the screen I've got me trying it out, and then I decided not to again because I've got to draw him over and over and over again, and if I got those extra colours, that's like an extra 3 colours on his palette I don't have room for. And it's still, just shading the top lip still gives the same effect, so I'm not too worried about that. And when I was drawing the actual comic pages as opposed to this character reference sheet, when I was doing his hair, because it's two-toned, like it's grown out from being bleached, instead of doing the clean gradient, I actually used a more chopped up sort of brushy texture, so it looked more like actual locks as opposed to just a smooth gradient. I think that looked a bit better. I don't know what the brush is called in Paint Tool side. They're all pretty generic names, just like brush and like splatter and stuff. I guess I can talk about, I've got another few points here that are like spoilers in the story. I was thinking I could extend the story into more of an arena type thing. So most of the focus is on the characters and their stories and like how they interact with people, but like the driving plot outside of the characters would be being invited to compete in these games. And they're not specifically parkour games, but be a lot of different types of athletes. And I thought it would be cool to play on sort of, you get a lot of YouTube house channels where they like get a bunch of people together to film things. They do competition style stuff. I thought it'd be cool if in story there was someone hosting these games with athletes and people off the street, or just anyone they invited in for cash prizes. And you know, for a young person, cash prizes are pretty enticing, kind of like this Webtoon contest. I'm like, oh yeah, I'd like $50,000. That's a whole year's wage. So I've got a note about attitude towards money over friendship. So I was going to have some plot points in there where, you know, drama, you've got to choose whether you care more about your friend's well-being or the fact that you've just been bombed out of this competition. And I thought it'd be fun to play on that because naturally most people, when they miss out on something, get mad. But how do you rationalize that, and how do you like overcome like your feelings of like losing out on something versus like how you like respond to and care about your friends' emotions? I don't want to spoil the whole plot point because it's like one of like the third main event in like my extended version of the story, so that's all I'm going to say. That's like a bit of an arc for him. What else have I written? His attitude towards money. So despite not being like the most high-end wealthy person in the world, I thought it'd be funny because I'm quite a cheapskate and I find I end up buying multiple versions of the same thing because they break too easy. And I thought it'd be funny if, despite not having money or like a lot of money, Axel would rather buy one really expensive thing that'll last a long time. So something like shoes. Be more comfortable spending $200 on shoes than like buying 6 pairs of shoes in a year because they'll last longer, things like that. And he likes to, like with the hair thing, like have a nice appearance. I'd rather he'd like branded stuff. It's like made a little bit better, makes you look better, but you might only have like a few of those things that you just take care of and like repeat wear. So that's what I put into his thing. Dash is more like whatever, I'm just wearing what's comfortable. I think I'm gonna run out of time to talk about other stuff, so I'm gonna cut it off here. Just rambled about my character sheet. This is Axel. I'll be posting my entry for the Webtoon call to action contest in a few days. I want to put mine up on June 3rd, so I'm not right at the bottom of the pile. Like I could wait up and post first and be like, woohoo, I got in exactly first, but I was thinking about it and I'd rather post maybe 1 or 2 days in, so I'm still within like the high traffic range, but I'm not right at the bottom and people don't have to scroll for ages to see me. So that's what I'm doing. June 3rd my time. US people, it'd be more like June 2nd, I think. It's like 17 hours time difference. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Thank you. Goodbye.